Hey, Adam Broussard here. Change your mindset, and you can change anything. I had read that, and I like it. I was literally beating that drum today. It's a business partner of mine, a friend of mine, that I'm like, man, you got to change your mindset on how you look at things. Kind of felt a little bit like Tony Robbins, to be honest with you. I'm a big believer, as you can tell through other videos, in changing your mind. You will change the habits, and eventually it will change your life. Sometimes people say, oh, it's instantaneously. I don't know. It could be instantaneously for some maybe not for others, but I've always experienced life as just a continuation of learning. And so my mind is expanded, believe you me. My mind is like, how big can I do this thing? And I realize, like, the bigger that I want to achieve, the harder it is to do. And man, I got to barrel through some hardships. But it leads me to my faith, and also leads me to gratitude of the things that I have done with God's help and am doing now. And like, don't even worry about anything. Just keep on moving and shaking. And I'm listening to a book that really kind of is opening my eyes even more on my mindset of just the strategies of great people, or the way they think. And so the way they think is that every day is a new day, and that they're always prepping up, and like, they're not bogging themselves down with knowledge of everything. You have the natural knowledge to overcome things, and sure, there's absolute truth that you have to learn, you have to adapt. You can reflect back on your failures, but don't look at it as like, oh, Adam, I failed, and I got to carry this weight of the world, which I do think at times. But these are the lessons, and you move on from them. You don't dwell on them. You let it go, and you keep going. Don't let it stop. And there's some failures happening around me right now that can be deemed pretty significant. Potentially, they're not failures yet, but they're on their way there. And I'm really fighting hard to not let that affect me, because at the same time, there's something really awesome brewing and happening too. And it counteract any type of failure. So it's like, do I really know what failure is? I mean, I'm learning from every situation that God allows me to be in, and if I'm learning, I'm growing, and if I'm growing, there's growing pains. And so I just got to keep going and keep growing and growing. It's like a tree. And I was watching Les Brown telling the story about a Chinese bamboo tree, where you plant the seed, and you water this soil with the seed for 5 years. 5 years, you don't see nothing. And on the 5th year, in about 30 days, it grows to like 100 feet tall. Look it up. I ain't joking about it. I looked it up. So the question is, did it grow in 30 days? Or did it grow in 5 years? And the answer is no. It grew underground for 5 years. And then on the 5th year, 30 days, it grows 100 feet. And so, thank you, Chinese bamboo tree story, because that really helps me continue to know that I just have to continue to plant seeds, water the seeds. And look, I'm doing stuff now that I thought of 5 years ago that I need to be doing. it took me 5 years to get to this point, and we're doing it better, and I'm around the people that can actually help me do it. So I'm now able to implement things that I thought of within, like, 6 months ago. Now we're able to implement them now, or maybe definitely even less than that, to be honest with you. And when you start, I thought of this yesterday. I might have made mention to it in my video, but when you start growing up, generally people have to start solving when it's financial problems. Financially, it's you got to start solving dollar problems, and $10, and then hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and all this kind of stuff. I didn't really realize this up until last night, I think. I'm having to solve $1 million problems right now, or $1 million potential problems, because I have to keep on moving and readjusting and all that kind of stuff. Not because things are terrible, but because that's just at a different level that I'm at, that I didn't really realize, to be honest with you. I've grown up from the hundreds and the thousands and the tens of thousands to where now these problems are, more or less, they're just, I have to move these properties. I have to increase my sales. I mean, every week I need tens of thousands of dollars to continue operating at the level that I'm at, which equates to $1 million, a few $1 million worth of real estate, and so, yeah. And then I'm turning around helping people out that have $1 million problems as well. And so, as I overcome the things that I need to overcome in my businesses, and help people learn about their businesses and how to overcome, it's pretty exciting, because I know that as long as I stay the course, stay organized, and learn, and not go into it thinking I know everything, but being in the moment. Like right now, I'm in the moment of driving home and talking to a camera by myself. Then that's where ultimately you're gonna have your best feelings and ideas, and there's an old saying, old thought. The devil wants you in the past and in the future, and God wants you right here in the present. That's the closest you're ever going to experience to feeling of eternity. Because when you're in the present moment, you're not thinking about past or future. You're just right here. And even though I get caught up thinking in the future, very, very, very much so, being present allows me to think better, feel better, not worry as much, and enjoy the things that I have going on around me, even if it's insurmountable odds that I have to worry about. Because even those dragons that need to be slain, man, I looked back at my notebook the other day, and there was problems 6 months ago I had no idea how to solve, that ultimately ended up getting solved. Just like there was nothing. And I made it something. I'm like thinking, oh man, how am I gonna do that? I don't know nothing. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. We'll see you again tomorrow. God bless.